Hi, love.
Welcome to your very first podcast ever.
Thanks. Welcome to you as well.
Well, thank you very much. Okay, so this is going to be a very, very, very interesting little bit of a transition from live performances and live streaming and reaction videos into podcasting, but I'm all for it.
Definitely.
Really excited.
I'm actually very excited.
Same. So we're, by the way, welcome to everybody who is joining us.
Yes.
My name is Harry.
I'm Sharlene.
And we are from Novaria Studios.
Yes, we are.
We started with a YouTube channel called Songs and Thongs.
Yes.
And we rebranded, and now we are Novaria Studios.
We are.
And with that came the desire to do some podcasting.
Yes.
And we welcome you. Thank you for joining us on this podcasting journey. Okay, so we're going to kick things off with the biggest bang that we possibly can. And any day we get to share this story is a good day.
Is a good day.
So I'm extremely excited about this.
Yes.
And I'm going to tell you why I'm excited about this. The reason why I'm excited about this is we've been wanting to share this story ever since we got together.
That's correct.
I mean, literally, we got together, and within that first year, we would share our story with people.
Yes.
And I wouldn't say that people were condescending or rude, but you always got this sense of, them kind of thinking
like
that
still newlyweds.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, you're so naive. Oh,
There's still so much to learn.
Yeah, I'll just wait for it. We would tell people, oh, we never argue, we never fight.
Yes.
We never scream at each other, and they would always kind of giggle and go, oh yeah, newlywed phase. Oh, give it a couple of years. It'll get there.
Yes.
And we were always like really annoyed by that. Like, I know I was.
I was as well. Yes.
It was kind of a thing where, when you're passionate about something and people just kind of shit on it.
Yes.
It's really kind of like, really? And I mean, we're not going to name and shame, but it actually kind of hurt, and it was kind of like, wow, I thought we were friends.
Yeah. And then you've got the stigma of it's healthy to have fights in
oh
a
my
marriage,
gosh.
right? So, I mean, that is a topic for another day that a person can get into.
There's
but I mean,
lovely...
that is a stigma that's going on, where people feel that you have to fight because that is the healthy thing to do in a relationship. And it's just like, okay.
If you're listening to this without looking at us, you will hear a slap now. That is a face palm.
Yes.
Because, oh my gosh, what a lie. What a freaking blatant lie. Oh, it's healthy to fight in a marriage. Please, it is not.
Yes.
But that is a podcast for another day.
Yes.
And we will make a note to do that one. Now, the story that we are going to be sharing today is the story of how we met and got together.
Correct. Yes.
And if you are listening to this, you are in for an absolute treat.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's going to be like a fairy tale. And I know a lot of people have fairy tale stories. Like, I do know that. Like, I think a lot of relationships actually do have that. But it's very cool to know that we've got our own fairy tale story to tell.
Absolutely. And it's a special one.
It is.
So, okay, the story starts, oh my gosh, so long ago. I feel very, very
so
old.
long ago.
Oh my gosh. I mean, this story
It's not that we're old. It's just, but it starts.
Well, when the story starts 30 years ago. All right. So, technically a little bit more. No, it starts 30 years ago. Okay, so what happened? I went to primary school, and I walked into grade 1. The tiniest little rascal, a crybaby. I was a mama's boy crybaby, man. That's what I was. And I walked into school, and, all of a sudden there's a lot of kids, and you kind of have to figure out where you're going to fit in. You need to find your friends and whatever. And I was fairly lucky in that I didn't find a best friend. I didn't do that. I found 3, and it was really cool. I had 3 best friends for the majority of primary school. It was Villy, it was Marius, and it was Dylan.
Yes.
And we were I wanted to say dynamic 4-eo, but we were the Fantastic Four, man. It was ridiculous. No copyright intended there. Anyways, and we spent so much time together, and we had so much fun, and it was absolutely brilliant. Going through primary school with 3 best friends. Mm-hmm. Now, when we hit grade 3, one of those friends had a sibling join the school. And this friend I'm talking about is Dylan, and his sibling who joined the school is a certain Sharlene. It is you.
Correct, yes.
And basically, we got married about a month after that, and it's
if
been...
only. That is very funny. So yes, so the thing is, I can remember with Dylan going to school, obviously, I think when it is your first time going to school, you always have a bit of fear and always have. So I can remember Dylan was always crying, but I was excited to go to school. And I think that was such a nice thing for me because I had my brothers that were at school, remember?
Yeah.
And
well, my sister was at school and I was still crying my eyes out.
Yeah, well, that's you. No, I was excited. I can remember, like, my mom, them always said, you can go to grade 1 when you can say the letter R. And I would stand in front of the mirror and I'll be like...
Yeah, so in Afrikaans, the letter R is... It's got this roll.
It's got this roll. And I would freaking practice in front of the mirror just to say, like, I'm ready for school. Anyway, so...
For me, it was always when you can put your hand over your head and touch your ear.
It was kind of both, but I think I kind of manipulated that one a bit, so they were like, okay, you have to do the other one. I don't know.
Yeah, well.
So, so got into grade 1, and I think that's the thing. It's not that we spent a lot of time together then, but I mean, you notice that your brother's got friends, and then it's obvious that you're going to spend time with...
Yeah, we spent time together.
Yes.
In terms of we were on the same premises every day.
Yes,
of the week.
It was a fairly small school, so you actually knew everybody in the school.
Yeah, I think the entire school was like 300 or 400 kids. It wasn't a big school. It wasn't a big school.
So you do know almost everybody in the school. Yeah. That's the thing.
Especially if your brother is in another class or whatever.
Yes.
So that's where we first met.
Yes.
And then during primary school, we obviously spent some time together and everything. But we actually, after primary school, we split up. Now, we're going to get to that. But before we split up, you had a very odd questionnaire.
I did, but I think I need to backtrack a little bit there. So in standard 3,
So that is grade 5.
Grade 5, yes. I started seeing you in a different light. And I think that's kind of where...
It was a halo for those listening.
Probably. So it's that type of thing where you were in grade 1, grade 2, and then you spend time with your brother's friends, and then afterwards you kind of like, but I kind of like this guy. Like this guy is handsome, that type of thing. Like, And I can remember you were...
a 5th grader is handsome. More like cute.
Well, now, yes, you would say that. But at that time, so I was in... What did I say? Grade 5. You were in grade 7.
Yeah.
You were part of the, could you say, the prefect? I don't know if that is actually, if it's called that. So you had duties that you had to do. And I can remember when it was break time, I would always go and sniff out where you were. And I'll be there. It's like, okay, I'm going to spend some time with you. So there was a time in grade 5 that I had a questionnaire in the Afrikaans class, I think it was.
Yeah.
And to this day, I'm like, I've got no idea why that type of questionnaire was even given to kids that age.
Exactly, yeah. It's a weird
So the questionnaire was, I can't remember all of the questions, but I specifically remembered the one questionnaire, or the one question in the questionnaire was, describe your dream husband. And I can remember I was like, I don't have to describe him. I've got a name. And I wrote down your name.
Yay.
And to me it was like that
was just a no-brainer.
It was a no-brainer. I didn't even have to think. I really wrote that down. And yeah, like I still can't remember why that was such a big thing.
Yeah, why that would be a thing.
Why that would be a thing. I don't know.
Yet it was. So that was when I was in grade 7. And obviously, that's when we kind of split paths. I mean, that's when I went to high school. And
afterwards. So. But there is one thing that I have to say as well. So obviously, because I liked you, I visited friends, and I can remember always writing these love notes about you, like even in my handbooks, like the fact that teachers, it was like in the handbook, I would write it, like if those
like
are
the
handbooks,
textbook.
Yes, well, not like the books that you got from school, you kind of have to hand them back after the year
so like
finished.
The textbooks, gotcha.
So they've got like love notes in there.
The kids this day, to this day, they're reading about like, who is this?
Who is this guy?
This hairy person.
Anyway, and I can remember in grade 5, I already started like practicing how to have your surname as mine.
Oh, like signature vibes.
Like the signature. Like
nice.
I already did that. Yes.
So, I mean, that was so rad. And we always enjoyed spending time together. Did, yes. I mean, we got along very well, and it was really fun. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I even visited your house a lot, because it's my best friend,
of course.
But then we split up. I went to high school, and
I was still in primary school.
You were still in primary school, And I actually visited the primary school twice,
I
think.
Yes.
Yes. And oh, wow. Yeah. Oh, my gosh. So many things happened back then, man. So many things. But basically, the thing that I want to get to is you wrote me a letter.
I did. So I think that was also the thing. In grade 5, I would say going through like a bit of a rebellious stage, but if I think back to it now, it wasn't. Like, it's just, I think it's that type of thing, like you try and explore a few things, but not in a bad way.
Yeah.
So I can actually remember I wrote you a letter to ask me out because somebody, because somebody else in our church at that time wanted to, and I didn't want to go out with this guy.
Oh, wow.
So I wanted you to ask me out, and you just flat out ignored me. You were just like, nope.
Yeah, see, I can't remember that at all.
And I gave you that letter, but, nothing
Never
ever
happened.
happened, and I was heartbroken, but that's
I'm
fine.
so sorry.
We still spent time together,
Yeah.
And all of that type of thing. And it was in grade 6. You came to visit the one time, and I wrote you a letter basically just to say that, I really do appreciate who you are, and I appreciate our friendship, and I never want... I didn't want that to kind of hover over us, and that I really hope that we would remain friends and that we would still spend a lot of time together and all of that. So I can't remember everything that was written in that letter.
So that letter I remember very well, extremely well, because that letter haunted my entire being. And I actually had that letter until... just before we got together.
All right.
But I'll get to that. So let's backtrack a little bit. So you handed me that letter, and I wrote you a reply to that letter, and I never gave it to you. and that's what haunted me is I was never able to give you that letter, and it's so sad. But high school happened, and we were kind of apart for the majority. Well, the entire
we didn't go to the same high schools.
I mean, we were in different high schools.
Yes,
and after high school, there was one little meeting. I was working at a bookshop, a Christian bookshop, and you walked in the one day, and it was like
that was a very interesting thing to me as well. I mean, because I always liked you a lot, you were in my thoughts quite a fair amount of time.
Yes.
And I mean, I know, like you said, you go to high school and you kind of carry on with your life and your journey and that type of thing. But people that are important to you you'll always have a memory about that, right?
Yeah.
And I can remember we were on our way to the shop, And I was sitting in the back of the car. My mom was driving, and my brother was in the front seat, Dylan, then. And I had this thought, and I was like, man, it would really be nice to just see you again.
Yeah.
And we go into the shop, and we go into the Christian bookshop. And here I hear, hi, Dylan. And I look around, and it's you. And I'm like, oh, my gosh. And I was so happy. But, I mean, it was also, again, after a fair amount of time that we didn't see each other. So it was a bit of like an awkward high from my side. But inside, like,
You were doing like, cartwheels.
Oh. I was so happy.
I love it. Then we didn't see each other for a fairly long time after that, actually, because...
So I think you came to visit one more time, and that's when you said you moving away to a different part of the country.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so what had happened was when I was in matric, my parents got divorced for the second time, and my dad came to me the one day and he's like, you know what, you're done with school. Why don't we just move to a different part of the country and just start a fresh life? And I was like, you know what? I don't have an answer to that why, so let's do it.
Yes.
And I went to my boss at the time, the Christian bookshop, and I was like, man, do we have branches in this part of the country that maybe need some assistance? And he was like, as a matter of fact, we do. And I got a job or a transfer, and it was really cool. So my dad and I moved there, and we were there, oh my gosh, not even very long. It was a couple of months. I want to say like 3 or 4 months. And that's when my dad passed away. Now,
correct.
The interesting story about that is that happened exactly 20 years ago today.
Yes.
The day that we're recording this podcast, exactly 20 years ago, my dad passed away. And it's unreal to think about it, because, I mean, I'm 39 years old, which means I've been without my dad longer than I had him in my life. It's unreal.
It's crazy to think about it
That's ridiculous. But anyways, so we moved to another part of the country. My dad passed away, and I kind of, I found myself in a very difficult situation.
Yes.
I had nowhere to stay. My grandparents took me in for about 3 months, I think, if I can recall correctly. But then, the time had arrived, and it was time for me to leave. And I left, and I moved into like a shared house type thing, and that worked fairly well until I had to move out there. And then I found myself without a place to stay. I was basically homeless, and I eventually, I had a couple of friends, and they would take care of me, but it was tough going. It was tough going. I eventually found a place to stay with someone, and it kind of ended pretty well. I mean, it was a friend at the time. It was his uncle.
Yes.
And his son had gone to college, and they had his room open. He's like, you know what, move in there, and you can stay there for free as long as you clean the pool. And I was like, sweet, I'll be the pool boy, And it was cool. So I stayed there, and I moved from between jobs and whatever. And eventually I contacted my mom, and I was like, you know what, I think it is time for me to perhaps just move back. And I eventually found a job back at the part of the country where you stayed. I moved back there, and I had an idea. I wanted to come and visit you guys, but I never got around to it yet. I mean, it was still fairly fresh and whatever. But you actually found me before I found you.
Yes, correct. So I think we just need to backtrack a little bit on where and the decisions that we made with regards to relationships, because that is basically going to kind of set it up. Just so that,
a little bit.
Yeah.
So I was thinking of doing that right before we actually kind of get to a certain point in the story. So, but maybe it's a good thing to start it now. Okay. So when I was still in primary school, I used to date quite a bit. When I went to high school, I had 2 girlfriends. That's about it. I went to an all-boys school, so there wasn't a lot of options.
Yes.
But I dated one of the chicks there, and it was fun. But yeah, it kind of never really went anywhere. And it was roughly around, I want to say probably around grade 10-ish that I basically... No, it could have been a little bit later on, now that I think of it. Anyways, somewhere during high school, I ended up completely saying goodbye to dating. It just wasn't working for me.
Yes.
I felt like it was a distraction at the time, and it was just not quite right. I just felt... And I might add one thing to the whole dating thing, because I think a lot of people think dating is synonymous with sex, and it is not.
And it's not. Yeah.
When I was still in primary school, I made a 100% rock solid decision that I would not have sex with anybody until the day I got married. That was an absolute...
Yeah, it was a no-brainer.
Yeah, it was a hard, solid decision for me. I would not do that. So when I say dating, just for everyone listening, I mean, had a boyfriend.
Yes, had someone in your life to spend time with. That's basically what it is. Yes.
So, and that decision went on, and somewhere in high school, I decided, you know what, I'm done with this. This is not working for me, because what really is the point if I'm not... what is the point of being with someone if I know I'm not going to get married to them? That was basically it.
Yeah. So I basically made that decision as well. I think it was primary school. I had a few crushes, I would say. But, I mean, being who we are... the girl doesn't hunt the guy, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So you're going to wait for the guy to ask you out. Okay, other than the letter that I wrote you asking you to ask me out. But that, other than that, I would never be the one asking. I mean, that's the thing. So you would kind of wait for the guy to ask you. And I had a few... like of the kids or of the boys that asked me out, but they were not my type, so I would just be like, nope, not gonna happen, type of thing. And so I never dated in primary school, actually. There was one guy that I did. He asked me out the Friday at a party, and the Monday he dropped me, and I was like, okay, well, clearly this is not a good thing. And then in my high school period, I was a very conservative kid and very shy, and went from a very small primary school to a very big high school. It was...
humongous.
It was from 300 kids, like, overall.
School.
In the primary school. All of a sudden going to a 2,000 or 2,000 and a half, count. And it was like, no. Very, very intimidating. Yeah. And... I was very much a loner in high school, didn't like my high school years at all.
Yeah.
And you have, you were teased, you were all of that type of thing. And I think I was very insecure at that stage. So I just didn't want to have someone, or I actually didn't think I deserved being with someone, or nobody's actually going to think that I'm pretty enough to ask me out. So I never really worried about that. And when I was in... what is that? The grades. Grade 8, I think it was. No, grade 8, 9, grade 10.
Yeah.
I joined a dance group. It was a Christian dance group. And the lady was very much in the prophetic. And for the listeners who don't know what it is, God uses people by giving them prophetic words to speak over someone's life. And the Bible is full of prophecy and all of that, and to this day that is a method that God can use to speak over someone's life. And I take prophetic words like very serious. So to me it's like if someone speaks something over your life in a prophetic way, it's something that you can hold on to.
Absolutely.
And I can remember we were at a dance festival type of thing at one of the churches, and I received a word, over my life. And I actually quickly want to read it because
sure, go.
So this was in 2005, and it was at a dance festival type of thing. And the word that I was given was, this is the beginning of new things in your life, says God. The man that I'm placing in your life will be a priest in the house, and you are Esther, and you will know who it is when you see him. Just like I have kept you aside, I have also kept him aside. And I was like, man, that is something like very special.
That's really
like
cool.
You'll know who it is when you see him, and like he's kept aside. And I made the decision that I was not going to date because I didn't want to give my heart to someone and it just be broken. You know,
again, for no purpose
whatsoever. Like, if you're going to be in a relationship, you want to know that it's going to mean something, right?
Yeah.
And so that was in 2005. And in 2006, it was my matric year. I received another prophetic word over my life. And this is one that I can kind of... I actually don't even have to read it off of paper because I know exactly what it says. You know it by heart. Because I kept it in my heart so much because I knew this was something that God spoke over me. So it says, Father God says, you wear me like a crown, but I have kept you aside and I've hidden you in the shadow of my wings. For I have not wanted everybody to touch and everybody to take and to steal from you. I've placed a veil over you, and that veil will remain there until the time that I remove it. And you will see that even the man that I place in your life likewise has been hidden in the shadow of my wings. And you will know that this is a man of God, and you will respect and honor him as a man of God. And he will know that this is a woman of God, and he will honor and respect you. You will have one goal, you will have one vision, you'll have one declaration of faith, and one mission to accomplish, and you'll come together like two pieces of a unity. The one cannot meet the need without the other. And you will walk steadfast, and you will know that you are still hidden in the shadow of his wings, but together. And the veil will only be removed between you and him and God.
Yeah.
And I mean, that to me, like, I probably read that word every day. Yeah. Because to me it was like such a special word.
Absolutely.
And I mean, I was 18 at that stage.
Yeah.
And always kept it in my heart and always wondered, you know, like, I wonder how this is going to happen.
Out,
and like, you know, but fully trusting God that in his timing, it will work. And I can remember it was in 2008, close to the end of the year, probably around this time as well. My mom went to, so she did a lot of catering for the church and for parties and things like that. And she was at this one catering business where she ordered things. I think it was like plates and stuff like that. And one of the girls that worked there at the time was actually one of the girls that were with you guys in the primary school.
Oh, yeah. Letitia, right? Yes.
And she was so happy to see my mom because she hasn't seen her, like, I mean, from primary school days. And asked about how's Dylan doing. And then she said, yes, you are back, you know, in town. And my mom told me this and I'm like, oh, what? Like, I like that. But I mean, we didn't have contact details. We didn't have anything. Like, I didn't know where.
Yeah, I mean, this was before Facebook.
Exactly, before anything like that.
WhatsApp and all that stuff.
Like, we didn't know, like, where you were, like, anything like that. And I can remember she said to my mom, but he's changed. And I was like, changed in what way? Like, I wonder. Because I mean, I've always had this picture about you, course. And like, you've got a picture of someone like the last time when you basically saw them, course. Right? So I had this picture in my mind, and I was like, okay, that's changed, sure.
We'll see.
And I can remember there was the one day we were, it was probably like a month after my mom said that you were back in town, and I was at the dance group and I was on my way back home, and I was driving with two of the people that actually joined that was part of the dance group at that stage. And we were driving And I was sitting in the back of the car, and I mean, that's husband and wife. They had a conversation about something, and I was like, okay, they part of their own conversation. I'm just going to sit with my thoughts a little. And I can remember I sat back and I was like having this thought in my mind, and I'm like, Lord, like, I really would like to know who my husband is. And I can remember looking out of the window, and as I said it, you walked past, and I'm like, what? And I mean, at that stage, if it was not the people that I was with, I would have jumped out of that car.
Hell
and
yeah.
I would have been like, dude,
what's up?
But changed, yes. All of a sudden, you didn't have short hair.
Yeah.
You had long hair.
Long hair.
You were dressed in black, like
Yeah.
everything black, like full on goth.
Yeah.
And I can remember I was like, there's a hottie still.
Yep.
Still a hottie.
I looked good.
You really did. You really, really did. And I mean, my heart skipped a beat because I was like, here I have this thought.
Yeah.
The word that I got in 2005 was like, you will know who it is when you see him. I have this thought and prayer to God, and I look out of the window and it's you. Okay.
Yeah.
And I mean, what did I say in
grade 5?
In grade
yeah.
5, it was like, my dream husband is you.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I was like full of joy and just, you know, but again, I didn't have contact details. I didn't know where you were even going at that stage.
Yeah.
Like, you know, what was the deal? Like,
I went to
no
get
idea.
lunch.
Probably. Or on your way back from lunch.
All that.
But yes, that's basically what happened. And I can remember going home and saying to my mom, I saw you, you know, and didn't say much, you know, that was the thing.
Yeah, you didn't share the whole...
Didn't share the whole thing.
By the way, I know who my
car.
husband is, you know.
Not at all. Not at all. But I think it was like, man, a few days or like a week after that my mom and I were in the shopping center. And we were shopping, and while we were paying at the till, my mom turned around and she saw your mom. Now, we haven't seen your mom, I mean, again, since primary school days. And we waited kind of for her to pay and to finish up. And my mom said hi, and she was like, do you remember me? I'm Dylan's mom. And, you know, and she was like, hi, how are you? And my mom then asked your mom for your number.
Yeah.
And so that we can get in contact with you. Well, she wanted to give it to Dylan, but I was like, yes, we want the number.
Yep.
And we got the number from your mom, and Dylan contacted you. And I think it was, so the day that he contacted you, you were, that weekend you were traveling for work or something like that.
Yeah.
So it was the weekend after that you actually came and visited us.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I received this SMS from Dylan, and I was like, hey, Dylan, you know, he's like, hey, Harry, you know, what's up? It's Dylan here. And I'm like, what the hell? That's really cool. And I was very excited to come and visit you guys. And I had changed. I would say visually. Yes, I looked different.
You looked different.
I would say at that stage in time, I was in a very good space spiritually.
Yes.
But I didn't want to be the typical, oh, look at me, I'm a Christian.
I get that.
I didn't want to be that. I had long hair. I wore eyeliner, guy liner, you know. I had black nails. I had leathers, cuffs, and rings and everything. I was badass, you know. And I decided when I was going to come and visit you, I was going to go way out. Yes. And I was like, I'm not going to, you know, pretend to be something that I'm not or anything. And I went full out, and I came to visit you. And I had a very interesting experience with that look of mine, because the first time my mom saw me, I was still living in the other part of the country, and she came to visit, and she saw me, and she damn near crashed her car. Like, no jokes. and she had a complete and utter mental breakdown. It was terrible. And I'd kind of gotten used to that response from people. And I was just like, you know what? People need to realize that you shouldn't judge people based on how they look. And I think that's one of the big lessons that I learned from that is I looked crazy. But deep inside of me, I had a heart of love and compassion, and I was so passionate about people and, you know, sharing love and everything. And it's important to realize that. Anyways, so I got to your place, fully kitted out in my leathers and everything, and the weirdest thing happened. Nobody said a damn thing. Everybody gave me hugs, and everyone was smiling, and everyone was, it's so good to see you, and welcome. And I was like, they get it. They absolutely freaking get it. And it was such a special moment for me. I'm honestly
glad it was, because to me, I mean, so when I saw you walking past, right, I was like, man, you do look different. You really do. But it's fine. You know?
It's okay.
And when you came the day to visit, and the moment you said hi, I was like, it's the same guy.
It's him.
Like nothing about your character has changed. You are who you are.
I might have matured a little bit.
You've
that's
matured,
about it. Yeah.
Yes, you matured. Outwardly, you changed, like you said, but that was basically it. You were still you.
Exactly. And we had that first visit was absolutely just awesome. We had such a great time, and we drank tea, and oh my gosh,
yeah,
it was
and
just,
Dylan played guitar.
Yeah, we played some guitar. We just
catching up, having a good vibe, just talking about a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and it was such a great time. And I mean, the thing that was cool about that is it was the entire family. It was not just me and Dylan having a visit. It was the entire family.
Together, yes.
You were there, your mom was there, your dad was there, and we all had this amazing, just like gathering. It was camaraderie almost. It was so freaking special.
Yes.
Anyways, Dylan and I eventually went out. I think we went to play pool or something like that. Came back and I left. But then, was it the next week, I think?
Yes, but are you going to share about when you first saw me?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so
this I didn't know about though. But
so let's backtrack just a tiny little bit. So the day my mom the day I received the message from Dylan, I phoned my mom.
Yes.
Because I had very distinctly told her, you do not give my number to anybody. If I move back, if there's somebody I want to get in contact with, I will. Yes. And I was planning on getting in contact with you guys, but I was like, you do not give my number to anybody. And I received this message from Dylan, and I was like, and then he actually said they got my number from
your mom.
My mom. And I phoned my mom, and I played with her. I was so mean. I was like, so mom, I have a bit of a big problem at the moment, because you need to confess something to me right now. And she's like, what are you on about? And I'm like, no, yeah, you done broke my rule, and I was bad. And she's like, what do you mean? I was like, well, I just received an SMS from someone claiming they got my number from you. Oh, but Harry, I'm so sorry. No, I'm so sorry. And I milked it. Oh, I milked it. And then at the end of the day, I was like, no, don't worry. I wanted to get in touch with them in any case, so you kind of saved me the trouble. So don't worry about it. But
this is one of the numbers that I'm happy about.
Yes, I'm happy about this one. And then she had a moment, and then we had a bit of a chat about, how it happened, and she told me the story, and then she's like, Dylan's sister. Oh, she grew up so pretty. It's so nice. And I was like, she grew up pretty now, did she? I mean, I always liked her. And then there was that first visit. Now, at that stage in time, I had given up on dating.
Yes.
And I was, oh my gosh, on the purity train.
Oh yes.
Oh, we all know the purity train. Safeguard every single thought that you have. Do not think about, the bad things, and do not look at women. Don't objectify them, and blah 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 blah. And I walk into this house, and there's this young lady standing there with her super long blonde hair. And I walk in, and I mean, she's a dancer. So she got them glutes. Oh my gosh. And she got them long legs. And she's ripped in the tiny little waist. And I walk in there, and that little girl just stood there with sparkling eyes and a big ass smile on her face. And I damn near died. Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Now, the thing is, you were looking at me, and we had some eye contact, and I was just mesmerized by your beauty. I was like, oh my gosh, this is absolutely unreal. And then the thing happened that shouldn't have happened at that very moment. Everyone was having a lovely chat in the kind of the doorway and whatever.
Yes.
And you were the first to turn around to head on back in.
Yes.
And then my eyes made contact with your rear end. And I needed to have composure. It was difficult. It was really difficult. Because then I realized everyone's looking at me, and I was like, oh my gosh, where do I look? It's a very pretty roof you have. It's a flat roof house. Damn it. It was difficult. But anyways, that was unreal. That first seeing you again, I damn near fainted. I actually recall feeling a very deep happening, and I was like, just keep it in, Harry.
Keep it in.
And it was rough, man.
Composure.
But yeah. Anyways, so after the evening, it was lovely. I left, and then it was the next week that I made my final payment on my brand new guitar.
You did.
And that was an opportunity to come and show my friend, because Dylan had started playing guitar as well, and obviously needed to come and show him my guitar, which means I get to see you again. Yes. Yay! So I came through, but now the week leading up to me getting my guitar, I started having weird ass dreams.
Correct.
Because I started dreaming about our primary school.
Yes.
Now, the primary school that we went to is a tiny little primary school, but it's a beautiful primary school.
Nice
it's
place.
Such a beautiful place. And I had this recurring dream where I would go to the primary school, but not drive there with my own car. I would be a passenger and go to this primary school of ours for an event. Like, no idea what event. The dream was driving into, that little garden section there in front. It was driving past that little garden to the parking, like at the side of the hall.
Yes.
And then kind of walking around the hallway. Or not the hallway, the hall. And that was the dream. And I was like, man, there's this event. There's a lot of people and there's stuff, but I don't know what this event is. But you don't know what it is. And it was the most interesting thing. And I was like, oh, well, whatever. So I finally get my guitar, and I come to visit you guys again, and we sit there having a lovely chat. We're drinking tea, we're playing guitar. Dylan was sitting in front of me on the other couch, and I was sitting on this couch, and we were playing some chords and whatever. Your dad was over there along with your mom, and you were on the same couch as me. It was like a 3-seater couch. Correct. And I was actually on this side. You were basically exactly like this. And I was playing guitar, and eventually we stopped playing guitar and, drinking some tea and whatever. And I actually, with the chatting, I was like, man, you guys might appreciate this. I've been having the strangest bloody dream. And you were like, okay, cool, sure. Everyone's like, yeah, sure, share. You never know. And I'm like, I've been dreaming that I'm going to an event at our primary school. Correct. And you burst out laughing. Yes. And you were like, what? Why? You started laughing. And then you jumped up. Yep. And you ran away. Yep. That's what you did.
Yeah, that's what I did. And I can actually tell that part of the story. So what happened when you visited the first time?
Let me first complete the confusion. Okay, cool. So what had happened was, is you jumped up.
Yes.
You ran out the room.
Yes.
Basically singing, oh, it's because you are. And then you were gone. And I was like, what in the hell? And I remember your dad
was so
having this confused, like, well, what just happened type of look on his face.
Yes.
Your mom had this
big
smile on her face, and Dylan had this weird smirk, just like, I can see where she's going with this. And you came back and you handed me a scroll.
Yes, correct.
And I opened up this little scroll, and it was an absolute just mind-boggling experience. Open the scroll, and it said, "You have been invited to my 21st birthday party. Date, time, whatever, venue," and it was our primary school.
Correct. Yes.
So you had invited me to your 21st birthday party, which you were going to hold. Well, which you held at our primary school.
Correct.
And I was at a loss for words.
Yeah. So what happened is when you visited the first time, and I obviously saw you, and I was like, man, this guy, he's a hearty man. I really do like him so much. And now I know what I prayed, and I know all of that type of thing. But we're human, right? And
of course.
I was still a very conservative girl, and still, I never dated, so it's that type of thing. Like, you're just coming to visit, and you do kind of want to put your best foot forward type of thing. Like, you do that. But I was like, man, I really, really, really want you to be at my birthday party, because that was like a month later, I think, or a few weeks later.
I came to visit you in December.
Yes, and that was in January,
it was
right?
Like
it
or 3 weeks.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Oh no, wait. So that was I came to visit fairly early in December.
So it was about a month.
Because I got my guitar.
Yes.
With my November paycheck, I did the final payment. So
it would have been like early December.
Early December, and your party was early January.
Yes.
So roughly a month.
So I think it was about a month. And I wanted to invite you to my party, but I didn't really know how, because you just came to visit the first day. Like, how do I give you an invite and be like, by the way, you're invited to my 21st? We haven't
thinking
seen
back
you.
of it, it's like, why not?
Why didn't you? But again, it's like, we haven't seen you for ages. So now it's like you kind of have to rebuild the friendship a little bit. Even if you don't have to, you kind of do, right? And I can remember, like, you and Dylan actually, on the first day that you came to visit, you guys went out to play pool or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
And I was busy writing the invites. And I was like, man, should I give it to you? No, I can't give it to you now. It's going to be weird. Okay, there'll be time that I can give it to you. And you left, and I was like, you know what? I can get God involved with this, probably. And I was like, Lord, like, I really, really, really want Harry to be at my birthday party. Can you, like, maybe give him a dream or something? Like, just showing him that he's going to a party. And that is what I did.
And he did.
So when you came to visit the second time, and you said about the dream you had, like...
It was 100% answer to your prayer.
And that's why I started laughing, because I was like, at that moment in time, I was like, what?
Damn, God.
Wow.
Sheesh. Way to go.
And to me, it was such a special thing, because I was man, like this is cool. This is really, really cool.
Yeah.
And it was a type of thing of, I didn't have to do anything really.
Yeah.
Like, I just kind of left it to God, and He made it happen, because it should have happened.
Exactly.
And and I gave you the invite.
Yeah. And then, we had a couple of visits between that, and then it was your party.
Yes.
And an interesting thing happened at the party, though.
Yes.
Is we arrived. I actually didn't go in my own car.
No,
I did drive with Dylan, which is so far out of the norm for me.
Correct.
But it's fine. We arrived there, and you had like a seating arrangement where everyone was to be seated. And I started looking around, and you had a table for your parents and everything with, their kind of friends. You had a table for like the church people, I think, if I can recall correctly. And then you had a table there was another table. I can't remember.
It was for the dance. There was the dance table,
And then there was your table, which was, Dylan, it was your cousins, your people. And
my people.
Your people.
All of the other people just said,
they were just like, no. You're invited, but yeah.
But I don't care too much about you. My people.
It's just like, this is my people, And at your table, you had chosen to place me right next to you.
Correct.
And I damn near had a heart attack. I was like, what? Seriously? And I remember I actually went back home. And told the people that I was staying with at that stage, we were in a band together, and I actually told them, I was like, man, this chick is freaking amazing, and I'm freaking in love with her. She's like so awesome. And I went to her birthday party, and she freaking, like, I sat next to her. Like, she personally put my name next to hers on the table.
Correct.
I sat next to her, and I was like, I was freaking the hell out. It was so good.
And that was everything planned.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't need to do invites at all, and quite frankly, I didn't care about all the plays. Yeah, like I couldn't care about where everybody else sat.
Yeah. You just wanted me next to you. I just
wanted you next to me, but then I couldn't just do one table. You
of
have
course,
to think about these things. Like, it would be weird if it was just our two names next to each other, right? So you kind of have to sell it.
Yeah. So
I did that on purpose so that you could sit next to me.
So I came prepared with a beautiful gift for you.
You did.
Now, the thing about Sharlene, and when I came to visit you, we obviously had some very big conversations.
We did, yes.
As you do when you kind of first catch up. And we ended up in some deep conversations, not just me and you, but me and your entire family.
Correct.
About religion, about beliefs and all of that stuff. And so I knew for a fact that you were, very, very deeply in love with God, and you did things the correct way. And I was like, man, what can I give you as a 21st birthday present that is respectful of that, but still special from me and all of that? And my mom had a florist type thing happening at that stage in time, and I went to her and I was like, man, I have an idea. And her and I got together and we created I want to say a bouquet of flowers, but it's not a bouquet of flowers. It's an arrangement. Let's call it an arrangement. So it was a plastic container type thing in the shape of a cross.
Correct.
And we had taken orange roses, because your invitation had your colors on there, that the party was going to be themed according to. So we stuck to that, which it was green and orange.
Yes.
And we took these orange roses, and I will actually flash a photo of this arrangement on the screen for those watching. And so if you want to watch that, go check it out on YouTube. And we took tiny little roses, and we just kept them really short. We just cut the stems really short, and we packed them in a 21. And on the right side of the cross, on the right arm, we had quills.
Yes.
They were so freaking cool. Like sticking out, like really ruggedly.
Yes.
And on the other side, we had, I don't even know what you call that stuff. And it was just green. It was this beautiful arrangement of flowers. And I gave that to you, and you were absolutely just gobsmacked by it. And I think you ended up having it at the party.
We took it to the party. It was kind of like the arrangement of flowers for the party. It actually worked out so
it worked out
well.
really well. And that was kind of the first thing that I gave you, and I was very happy. And the way that you reacted to that, I was like, okay, cool. So she likes the flowers. I like it.
I really did.
And it was a lovely evening. I mean, that was a great party, and I really enjoyed it.
I can't remember a lot about it though. I think.
You were sitting next to me. I
think that's the thing. To me, it's like it wasn't about anybody else actually at that stage. But the big thing is,
there wasn't a lot. I mean, there was a couple of speeches.
Yes, and then it was actually just a lot of
food.
But if I think about it, there was actually quite a few people, and I didn't really interact with a lot of them.
Yeah.
But at that stage, it was also a lot of the church people, and they were like
sure.
my second family. So, I mean, it's not that I really had a lot of friends at that stage. It was more like the people that were in church, and they were older people, but they were kind of like your family. So,
of course,
they were part of your life, and that's why they were invited. So, but it was more about just us.
Absolutely. So then, the way that you reacted to the flowers made me really, really, really badly want to give you some more. And luckily, your birthday is not very far away from Valentine's Day.
Correct.
But now, here's the thing. With all of the conversations that we had, with your family and everything, you actually did share a lot of your beliefs with regards to relationships and whatever as well. Yes. That was a topic that came up.
Yes, I was very vocal and very stern about it, that I was not going to date anybody, and that the first, like, I had this belief that the first person that I'm actually going to be with will be my husband.
Yeah.
That was
your belief.
That was my
first
belief.
person I date, I will marry.
Yes.
That was
and I can, we'll get to that, but I can actually remember there was a day that one of my friends actually came to visit, and you were there, and I took her to the room, and I was like, man, this guy, oh man. And she was like, but I thought you said you were not gonna date anyone. You're gonna marry him. I'm like, yeah, I think he's the one.
Yeah. Now, if you are listening to this podcast, it has already been roughly an hour, and it is a very long podcast. We are going to take a very quick break, but I guarantee you when we do come back, this is where the story gets absolutely phenomenal. So
stay tuned.
Stick around. If you're not going to get married to her, so you can't just give her flowers, because then she's going to think you want to marry her. It's a spiral, okay? So anyways, I was clever about this.
But it was a good spiral.
It was a good spiral. It was a good spiral. So I waited for Valentine's Day. Now Valentine's Day does the exact same bloody thing, but I was clever. I really loved your mom a lot. She was a legend. And I decided, you know what? If I'm clever about this, I can say, you know what? It's Valentine's Day. I just love giving flowers on Valentine's Day. So here's the flower for you. Here's the flower for you. Everybody gets the flower. I went all Oprah on your asses. But it was special. So for your mom, I actually put a rose inside of a box type thing, and it was
very cool.
It was really a typical kind of thing that you would expect it to be.
Yes.
But for you, I decided, no, that's not.
You wanted to do something different.
No. So I went and I took flowers and I created my own little bouquet for you. And it was really nice.
Oh man, I love that so much.
It's so pretty. I really wish we could find a photograph
you should
ask
of that your
one.
mom though.
I'm pretty
sure
she's got it.
One. Yeah.
So we'll have a look at that. But I gave you that flower. It was a rose. It was stunning.
It was more than one though, right? Like, it wasn't just one rose.
I think it was only one.
Or was it one? I can't really remember.
It was one with some other thingies, but then I had
put it in,
weaved it kind of into a leaf. It was very freaking cool.
I love that
and
so much.
That little rose has a special story.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. I got the rose, and obviously in my mind I was like, oh man, he gave me a rose. Like, that is just so awesome. Nobody's given me a rose on Valentine's Day. And I kind of knew. I was like, this is not just, like, when I saw it, I'm like, my mom's is just a rose.
Textbook.
Mine is
You could have
special.
bought that from the freaking
Mine
shop.
is special. And it was special, not just of like everything about it, like the detail that you put into it was very, very cool. And I absolutely loved that. And I obviously had the rose in my room because that's where you put flowers that you get for yourself.
Of course.
And yes, it was interesting. So the leaves started dying and stuff like that. So, as it kind of the time progressed, I took out some of the leaves that was dead.
The dying bits.
And when I looked into the pot, I saw.
It was a glass, right?
It was a glass.
You had it in
yes,
like
a
just
vase,
a vase type thing, yeah.
I saw that the rose were shooting roots inside of this.
The rose started to grow.
It started to grow, and I was like, oh my gosh. And I can remember I actually took a photo and I sent it to you, and I was like, look at what is happening here. Like, this rose is shooting roots.
It was
like,
unreal.
It was, and I mean, that to me was kind of like a bit of confirmation again.
Yeah.
Of, I mean, it's growing. This love is growing, and you know, it's solid and it's shooting roots.
Yeah.
And it was super special.
Yeah. So
what did you actually think the day when
so
I
it was very
sent
similar.
it to you?
I was like, oh my gosh.
Did you actually tell your mom?
Yeah. Oh, of course I did. I was like, what the hell? This happens? And she was like, no. This is like, that doesn't happen. You buy a rose, you give it to someone, it dies, you buy another. They don't start growing. I was like, well.
Yeah, and I actually think like my mom planted that rose. I would like to know where it is.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
I mean, there's a rose
really
bush in the back of the yard. It might be that one.
Might be that.
Who knows?
Yep.
I don't even know. Anyways, so it was really cool, man. And then we started. I started visiting you guys a lot.
Yes, you did. So we went to the cell group then afterwards.
Yes.
So it was basically on a weekly basis that you would come through. So for those that's listening that doesn't know what a cell group is, it's basically a get together of people after like Sunday would be your church gathering, and then on a Wednesday it would be also like a church gathering, but more like a smaller group, and more like intimate, and more like with the people that you want to have that connection with. So, and
we had some really seriously deep conversations there, and that's actually where I think the first time you shared your story about the prophetic word that you had received, correct. And that's when I was like, oh my gosh, okay, well this
just gets more and more
this is
intense.
Getting more difficult, man. You know, and that's when I had a very big mind shift at that point, because that's when I realized, okay, this is not just a girl that I can like and we can spend time together. This is something very serious. Correct. And if I want to pursue this, I need to be 100% certain that
this is what you want.
This is what
as well.
I want. This is what God wants. This is what you want. And the whole situation became extremely delicate, and it was very good delicate, but it was
intense.
A very intense thing. Yeah. And I then basically went on a praying binge. I prayed more than I have ever prayed in my entire freaking life, because you're talking about the rest of your life.
Yes, correct.
You get what I'm saying? Like this is a life altering, life changing decision.
Make,
and it's not just a decision, it is.
It's got effects. That's the thing. Like, I mean, like
it
everything
affects
is
everybody.
Yes, correct.
And I started praying, and I was like, man, God, I need some serious answers here. I need to know, if this is even allowed. I mean, this chick has a prophetic word spoken over her. I mean, clearly you have a plan. Am I part of that plan? That was kind of the thing. Whether I wanted it or not, it was kind of trying to figure out, is that what God wants?
Yes.
And I started praying, man. I started praying my freaking heart out. And I remember I was visiting you guys the one day, and I left your place around 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah, I know. Our visits carried on.
It was stupid.
Lengthy visits.
And it was unreal. I was driving back home, and I was like, wow, God, I need to seriously. Now, for context, I'm not one that believes in star signs and all of that stuff, but I know which star constellation was up and about when I was born and whatever. So it's Cancer, and it has a part in it that looks like a sword, and I just like the way it looks. And I was driving home, and I was going up this hill, and I saw that straight in front of me, and I was like, oh, that's so pretty. And as I was looking at it whilst driving, I was like, man, God, I really need to speak to you about Sharlene again. And as I said your name, there was a shooting star straight over that sword. And I was like, couldn't you have waited for me to ask you a question or something? And I think God was just like, oh my gosh.
How many times?
Dude. I'm preemptively giving just...
Like the signs are there in multitude.
And they were so unreal, but I was like...
There was just something that I remember now, and this is just a small thing. This was one of the times that we actually went out, and I think it was for Dylan's birthday. So his birthday is 20 days after my birthday. Yeah. We actually went to the one restaurant, and I can remember you and I sat across from each other.
Oh, yeah.
And we had...
cream soda,
and our straws didn't want to leave each other alone. Like they were intertwined and intertwined the whole time, and we're like, "What on earth is going on?"
Our straws were like literally they
like
would
kissing.
Because the straw like gets the bubbles of the drink, and it would shoot up, and then they would just fall, and they would go to each other
like the
constantly,
whole time. And I can remember like both of us were like,
seriously,
what?
Man.
Anyway, that was just...
Yeah, that was a fun one. So then, I was praying and I was speaking to the people that I was staying with, and they were like, man, God is good. If, just go for it. And I was like, okay, cool. And then I got to church. So I was the worship leader at the church at that time. No, I wasn't. Back then, I was
You were just playing the guitar.
The lead guitarist. Yes. And the worship leader of the church actually came to me and pulled me aside. She was like, listen, I have a scripture for you. And I was like, okay, cool. Now, I had been praying to know if this is a gift from God, is this not, whatever. My gosh. And this lady whips out her Bible and she flips it open. She's like, God told me to give you this scripture. And I was like, okay, cool. Now, these are not the exact words that are written in the Bible, so don't go and look for it. You're not going to find it. But what she read to me was, Harry, this is the gift that I have sent you, and this is the perfect timing, and you have my blessing to go ahead with this gift and pursue it. That's exactly word for word what it says in the Bible. You can go and look for it.
You're contradicting yourself, love. You just said they shouldn't go and look for it.
No, it's in James. James 1. I want to say 12. But anyways, and I got this thing and I was like, oh my gosh. I wonder if God means that. Oh my God. Can you?
I know.
Seriously.
Like a person you do. Because that's the thing. Like, just before you carry on, I think that's the thing for me as well. Like, I asked God who it was. You walked by. Yeah. I knew it was you. Like, I didn't really have a doubt. But then you do start putting your human nature in front of everything, right? And you do start wondering. And you do start, like... Because it's now taking a bit of time, and it's not even taking time, but for you've got this, like, how can I say, the storm inside.
Yeah, I mean, this was about 3 or 4 months ish.
Exactly.
Yeah, and you do doubt.
Yeah, that, like, you do doubt a little bit, and you do wonder. And I can remember, like, I mean, I was thinking of you constantly.
Yeah, same.
And at a stage, I was like, man, like I can't do this. Okay, no. Yeah. You're going to go on a trip or something, and I need to get my head sorted out because I can't, like, be thinking about you, like, so much the whole time. And I mean, that's just your human nature. And it's like, why do we do this?
Yeah. So then I eventually got fed up. Yes. I got really just like, I am over this.
Yes.
I cannot carry on living like this. This is consuming my being. I need to get
and
to the
it was on both of our sides.
Yeah, we were
like
just
it was
done.
And we knew this because, like Harry said, we spent so many time actually together. So I picked up that you were
just like struggling
with stuff, and you picked up that I was struggling with stuff. And
so I went to work the one day, and I was just like, man, I am being consumed by this, and this needs to end. And I remembered what you told me about the dream that you asked God to give me.
Yes.
And I sat at work, and I opened up the shop and everything, and it was like 7 o'clock in the morning or whatever. And I sat there and I was like, all right, cool. I need to get this today. Either we're getting married soon, or I'm never seeing you again, or something. But today
you need an answer. Yes.
And I sat at work, and I opened up, and I actually closed the shop behind me. So I opened it up, and then I locked myself in, and I was like, no, this ends now. And I went into my office, and I sat down, and I was the only person there, and I started praying, and I was like, God, this is going to be a short prayer. Here's what I want. Because you would never really send me messages. I would always kind of initiate the first. Yeah, so the first message would usually have come from me, like during the day or whatever.
Okay.
It wasn't as often.
Strange though, but I think if I have to think about it, like I can't remember that at all. But I think if I have to think back, it was very much the type of thing of I didn't want to come across as too pushy or.
And I mean, this was before WhatsApp and all that
stuff.
So it was SMS. So it actually cost a fair amount. Yeah. So it wasn't a thing where we would chat the whole day.
Yeah,
you know.
Correct.
So I went in and I sat there and I was like, God, here's what I want. 9 o'clock this morning. So that was about call it an hour and a half-ish gap. I was like, 9 o'clock. That is my cutoff. If Sharlene sends me an SMS before 9 o'clock, I'm going to tell her how I feel. I'm going to share everything with her.
Yes.
If she does not message me before 9 o'clock, if she messages me at 9:05, I'm moving on with my life. And then I said amen. And this was call it 7:30 in the morning. And then I reopened the shop, and then I was like, wow, I really shouldn't have given it an hour and a half. Anyways, so I made myself some tea and I did invoicing and whatever, and I started waiting and waiting. 8 o'clock came, 8 o'clock went. 8:30 came, 8:30 went. It was 9:45, still nothing. And I'm like, that's 15 minutes. How long does it take to send a text, you know? 10:02 came, nothing. 5:02 came.
How did you feel at that stage, though?
So it was intense. It was very intense.
I can get that.
It's that thing of
you really want to.
Like the outcome wasn't really what was driving me. It was more the anticipation of what is it going to be.
What is it?
I just need the answer.
Yeah.
If you had not sent me something, I would have been fine. If you sent me something, I would have been fine. It was just a case I needed to know right now. So.
But you really did hope, though.
I know you do hope, of course. I mean, it's what you want.
Yeah.
But is this going to happen?
But is this going to happen? Correct.
And then it was 9:03, still nothing. 9:02, nothing. Ping! 9:02, lady. That's when you sent me an SMS. And your SMS read, hey, Harry, so I've noticed some things like laying on your heart quite heavily. Can I maybe ask you what it is? That was your message to me.
Yep. So just to give context of that as well, like the same morning, I have been struggling just as much. Like I was in a headspin like you can't believe.
Yep.
And I had a conversation with my mom.
Yeah.
And we were talking about you, obviously.
Yeah.
And she was the one that said to me, just message him.
Yeah.
Like, why don't you then just figure out what's going on?
Yeah.
And that's basically what I did.
And at that moment, I absolutely lost my mind. And I literally, I was running around that shop. I was freaking out. And I remember I sent you a message and I was like, oh my gosh, you have no idea. Please be patient. I'm going to send you a message, but this is going to take a while to type out. And I sent you that. And then you had to wait.
Yes.
But that's when I started typing. And I basically shared everything that we just shared here. I shared pretty much everything in an SMS. I mean, obviously very briefly, but I told you about the prayer. I told you about the the scripture I had received. I told you about everything. I told you about the deal I made with God that morning, and you messaged me 2 minutes to, and everything. Okay. And I sent you this message, a long message. And 5 minutes go past, and I receive a message back. Okay. Let's talk about it this evening, maybe. Now, that's not how my brain works.
No, I know. Now I know.
Now you know. And
well,
I'm like,
yes.
Well, okay, but what do you mean we'll talk about it this evening? Are you... What do you feel? What's up with you? And she replies, no, maybe this evening. Let's just go somewhere and then we can talk about it. And I'm like, lady, I am going to slap you.
I want to slap you. Because I can remember what I still said is at that stage I did the sound for the church.
Yeah.
So I was like, they've got band practice. So after work,
you'll get everything set
I'll
up.
get everything set up and then you come and fetch me at church. And then, so it was like after 7 the evening.
It was 7 o'clock in the evening.
You had to be patient for all day.
And then I was like, but can you at least tell me, are you pissed off right now? Are you happy right now? Are you... Just give me something. And she's like, no, we'll talk about it this evening. And I'm like, lady, okay, fine. So I had to have some patience for the entire day.
I don't know why I responded in that way. I really don't. Like, I've got no idea why I responded, but I think it was that type of thing for me. Like, you shared your heart, and there was just so much. Like, I didn't just want to
cheapen the moment or something. Yeah,
chat over a message. Like, I really wanted to like look you in the eye and kind of tell you my side and everything that's happened. Like, you knew some of the things already, but you didn't know everything about it. And it was like kind of, I think that was in my mind, but I was also still racing because now I got this message and I read it and then I showed it to my mom and she's like, you see. And I think my mom knew about it.
Oh yeah, no, they knew about it.
But they never did anything or said anything about it either, really. Like they kind of want the kids to bump their heads by themselves.
Yeah.
But I think, at that stage I had like mixed feelings because now you've got this nervousness, but you've also got this excitement, and you've got like, you don't really actually know. Like, even though I got that message from you, I had like this serious nervousness in me of like, okay, like, is this, wow.
So I did pick you up that evening.
Yes, you did.
And we did go out.
Yes.
And we ordered some milkshakes.
We did.
They were horrendous. That was the worst milkshake I've ever had in my life, by far.
And it took like 20 minutes before they actually got it to us.
Was ridiculous.
It was insane. But we didn't care. Like, it wasn't about the milkshake at all.
So we sat down there and we sat opposite each other.
Yes.
And you said a very interesting thing to me right then. All right, you go first. Lady, are you kidding me right now?
Like, I just spilled my heart out.
I sent you my heart on a silver platter.
But you didn't look me in the eye when you said that.
I was like, no. You clearly don't understand. You're going first because dude, I'm going to have a heart attack if you don't start talking to me right now. And that's when you basically said, well, I mean, I don't have a lot to say. I mean, basically, I feel exactly the same. And I was like, it was just a relief. And then you proceeded to tell me kind of everything that we just shared
from primary school. Like, that's where I shared all of that details and things as well.
And then we had a moment of really awkwardness.
Yes, we did.
Because then I was like, okay, so I know you don't really want to.
But let's just put this in perspective, because this is something that we didn't share either.
Yeah.
So because we never dated, somewhere along the line, there was that part of, like you said, you were on the purity path, and so was I, right? And then it was a bit weird. Like, it was taking that purity path a little bit too far, I think.
Yeah,
if I think about it now, I'm like, how naive can you be?
Children.
But it was basically a book that you gave me that you read about kissing dating goodbye or something like that.
I kissed dating goodbye, yeah.
I kissed dating goodbye. And at that stage when you gave me the book, it was more about I would have done anything. Like if you said go jump in the fire, then I would be like, okay, go jump in the fire to see what's going to happen. Like that was really how it was. Like even if we weren't together, that was like I respected everything that you said or everything that you stood for. And because you gave me the book, I was like, okay, so this is probably then Harry's belief about it. So I'll take on that belief as well. Now, not being in the dating scene at all, you don't know a lot of things, right? So you really don't. But keeping yourself away from that, it wasn't a hard thing for me, like, you know, not to hold hands or not to give a hug or that type of thing. So that was basically stuff that we also kind of had. It's like we're not gonna hold hands and we're not gonna kiss and we're not gonna anything like that.
Oh my gosh.
So yes.
Yeah. So then we had this kind of an awkward moment where we had this chat about, okay, but technically we do not want to date.
No.
We want to, like, I mean, if we're going to date now, that is basically acknowledgement that we believe we're going to get married.
Yes.
And I remember I was like, so should we just get engaged? And I remember you were like, yeah, well, I'm down. And I was like, all right, cool. Okay, sweet. No, that sounds like a good plan to me.
So I'll go and get the ring ready.
I'll get a ring then. I actually have a picture of a ring. Wait, let me show you this ring. Do you like this? And you were like, oh, that's so pretty.
Again, like everything that you said, I'm like, yes.
And it's a gorgeous ring.
It is beautiful,
No,
it is.
And I was like, all right, cool. I'll get that sorted. And then, yeah, sure. Okay, cool. And I had the ring made.
Yeah, so that night we were basically not dating. We were, even though we didn't have the ring, we were actually engaged.
But not
like, officially engaged, but we were engaged. Like we didn't do so we knew it was going to be, okay, we're going to get married.
Yeah, it was a formality.
Yes.
And I got the ring and I recreated the 21st flower arrangement, but this time on a wooden cross with dried.
Correct.
No, well, it wasn't dried flowers. It was
a lint,
like lint type things. It was like actual material,
folded into
created
like
flowers and whatever, and recreated that.
Correct.
I think I've got a picture of that somewhere as well, so I'll add that as well. And then I tied the ring to that.
Correct.
And came to your house and. On the day that I handed you the ring, though, I spoke to your dad and I was like, so, I just wanted to, make sure, is it fine with you that I ask Sharlene to marry me? Yeah, sure, no problems. And it was all good. And so I literally did that on the day. And then...
That's cool, but they knew it in any case. Like,
and then I handed you the ring and, I handed you the
arrangement.
Thing, and we took off the ring and then we were engaged.
Yes.
Now... The interesting thing is, that's when we started realizing, okay, cool, now we have to get married.
Correct.
Now, at the time, money was quite tight, I would say.
Yeah, so I wasn't working at that stage. I mean, I was still studying. I did fashion design at that stage. I was part of the dance group, so I was kind of helping out there, but I wasn't working.
Yeah.
And... you had a job, but I mean, at that stage,
that was covering car payment and petrol and
definitely not money for
definitely not a wedding. Oh my gosh! So we were sitting in a bit of a situation, and we started looking around at places, that we could use for the wedding.
Correct.
And venues at that stage in time were.
That is insane.
I mean, it's unreal.
Yes.
It's probably, like, if I think back at the prices now, I'm like, wow, that's dirt cheap.
It's actually very cheap for what it was, yes.
But back then, I mean, that was ludicrous amounts of money. And it was basically impossible. And we decided to do the thing that we do best. So we were like, God, we've got a problem, man. You kind of set us up to be together now, but, like, we can't even afford to get married. What? Can you maybe help us out a little bit? And he did.
Mm-hmm.
My
more so.
gosh, he did. So the interesting thing that happened then is we realized that our primary school was the perfect venue.
Correct. Because that's
wedding.
where we met. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's where we met. That's where we had your 21st.
Yep.
And they used the school as a wedding venue.
Yeah,
in
so I
any
think
case.
my mom was actually like, let's go and contact the lady and see what they can offer us.
And they drape the entire hall, and they go big, and they've got a reception area. Yeah. I mean, it's stunning.
It is beautiful. Like, you wouldn't say it's a school.
No, you wouldn't. Like, if you look at our wedding photos, you'll be like, that's a school?
Yeah.
What the hell kind of a school is that? It's brilliant. It's beautiful. And we got that at the most ridiculous price. I mean, if I tell you today, it's probably like $50. Mm-hmm. But we didn't pay that.
Nope.
We didn't.
Nope.
And then we needed food for 100 people because we invited 100 people.
Yes.
And we didn't pay for that.
Nope.
Interesting story about the food, though. Is that the entire wedding dinner was cooked on a two-plate gas stove because the actual venue, like the cooking where it was just
that lady was legendary.
She was like, and it was so good.
Oh my gosh,
it was so good.
That was so good.
Anyways, and then my mom said, "Oh, by the way, I'm going to gift you guys. I'm going to do all the flower arrangements and everything for the wedding. So, that's on me." And we were like, what the hell?
Yep. There was a lady in our church that said she's going to make my wedding dress and she'll do it for my bridesmaid as well, which was your sister.
Yep.
And she was like, I'm going to do it for free for you guys. This is my gift to you.
Yep.
Yes.
And then my sister turned around. So your mom and dad paid for the wedding venue and the food.
And the food, correct.
Then my sister came and she was like, you guys know you do need to send out invitations, right? And we're like, yes, we'll get to that. And she's like, oh, don't worry, that's on me. I'm going to do everything for
everything.
you.
Yes,
and she bought everything, and she made little boxes.
Yes.
And
I can remember there was one time where she was just like, okay, you're going to have to help a little bit with this because she was still working. And it's like, I'm going to need you just to help me out with this.
But she paid for
and
everything.
And she took the photos as well. Like, she took those photos that we could share.
And then we had a friend from church who offered to do all of the makeup
and nails
for free, and the nails.
Correct.
And then my sister's friend came and was like, oh, can she do the photographs for the wedding? Yes. And we were like, the wedding photos. And we were like, that'll be cool. How much are you going to charge us? She's like, no, it's on me.
Yeah, our hairdresser at that stage was also like, I'll do you guys' hair for free.
And she actually gave us...
And she gave us champagne.
Champagne. Absolutely free. And then someone came to me and was like, by the way, I got your honeymoon covered. And I was like, say what now? Paid for the entire honeymoon.
Paid for in full, yes.
And then someone came to me and said, oh, by the way, you need some gifts for the guests. I got it covered. And I was like, no.
No.
Nope.
There's one thing that we will pay.
It's not happening. I will do... seriously, everyone's been paying for everything. I'll take care of the gifts. And I got the gifts. But we actually had someone offer to pay for the gifts.
Yeah. We basically had our whole wedding. Well, it was. Our whole wedding was sponsored, was given.
Even the minister.
Even the minister.
Like, nope, on me.
And he usually
he charges.
And he was like, nope, he's not going to do it this time.
We ended up getting married for... Oh my gosh, if I tell you guys the price, you're going to be like, what? Our entire wedding cost you and me a full, what is it, $100?
If it was that.
And that was for the gifts.
If it was that. I don't even know if it was that.
Yeah, it's probably not. It's probably closer to like $70 or something. Yeah, it's unreal. We made everyone a candle. It was beautiful. I mean, it's if you think about it, an entire wedding.
I think that's the thing, like thinking of, like you said, at that stage when we were going through like the struggles in ourselves, you're like, man, we need to know now. But if you put a timeline to it, it is actually very quick. I mean,
It
the
was
first
so
time
quick.
that you came to visit was, I think, November, December.
Yeah.
That you came to visit. It was January was my birthday. February was the Valentine's thing. In March is when we had the conversation.
Yep.
May we got officially engaged, and December we got married. So
literally
in a year, we
since the first
yeah
revisiting to the day we got married.
It
was
was a
1
year.
year.
Yes.
It's unreal. It's
That's crazy.
absolutely unreal.
Yep.
And I mean, we couldn't leave directly for the honeymoon straight after the wedding.
No, we went to a guest house.
We had to stay at a
type of
guest
thing.
house. Even that was fully paid.
Correct.
And that guest house even packed us lunch
Like
for
lunch
the freaking
to go,
road.
Yes.
I mean, it's just
That's
like,
the thing.
what?
Like it was
So-
lovely.
oh my
like it was
gosh,
so
the
delicious.
chicken mayonnaise
Yes. Oh my
sandwiches
gosh.
like you've never had in
It
your
was
life.
so
And we've
lovely.
never had chicken
No,
mayonnaise sandwiches
no,
like that again.
was
That's
insane.
so good.
It was lovely.
But
But other than that, I mean, we also then after the wedding, we obviously had needed a place to stay,
Yep.
and we were like, I mean, you were staying on a plot type of thing
Yeah.
at that stage, but stuff happened and you couldn't stay there any longer,
Yeah.
and we needed a place to stay.
yeah.
And it was within the month that we were getting
It was
married.
in November.
The people broke contract in the
Yeah.
house that you had as a kid.
Yeah. That we were
Um,
renting out.
That
yeah.
you were renting out. And after we came back from honeymoon, we had a house to move into.
We literally.
And I mean, we never.
I actually moved in the week. I
Before
moved
you
in the
moved
week
in,
before
correct.
we got married.
Yes, correct.
Stayed there for a week.
Yes,
We got married, and came back to our
Yep.
own house.
correct.
Yeah.
And we never paid for that house. We only
Yeah.
paid like water and lights.
12 years.
For 12 years. Yeah.
Didn't have to pay for that house.
Yep.
It's unreal.
That's insane.
And that is literally just how we got together.
Yes.
And I think that the thing about the story is it's magical.
It is.
It's I mean, it's such an
It
incredible.
almost sounds too good to be true.
Yeah, it's like
And
a
yet
fairy
it
tale.
is, because it's us,
Yeah,
and
it's
we've
what
been
happened.
like we can't lie about the stuff that happened.
Yeah.
So
But the thing that, and I realize I actually kind of set this up slightly incorrectly, because this story we've always told, and people love this story.
yes,
But it's what happened after that.
Yes.
It's been the past 16
years. Yeah.
where we do not argue, we do not fight, we do not raise our voices
Don't.
at each other. And
And it doesn't mean that we don't have challenges. Oh my
oh
gosh.
no,
like,
we've had challenges.
challenges
like you can't
galore. Like, I mean, we'll get into that.
believe. Yeah, those podcasts are going to come.
But that's the thing. It's 16 years that was a decision that we both made, that
Yeah.
that's not what we want in our marriage. And yeah.
So the thing that we want to hopefully get across to everyone is, number one, the importance of not just going through life thinking you own this planet. There is an almighty God in charge of
Correct.
this place. And
Yes.
if you go about it by respecting him and respecting his authority and accepting his guidance, you can have the most incredible life that you can possibly imagine.
Yes.
And that's the first thing. The second thing is, life is so much fun. When you live it the way that we live it, life is an absolute joy to live.
Yes.
I mean, yes, you have your challenges,
Mm.
but I mean, my main mission every single day is to make you laugh.
Yes.
That's my
Correct.
goal.
Yep.
If I make
And you get it
laugh,
right.
and I've nailed it pretty
Yep.
much solidly every single day.
Yep.
That is my goal, because laughter carries us, man. I mean, we didn't even get into that today, but we'll get there.
Yes.
I think that's going to be important for the next one. So stick around. We're going to do a lot of podcasting moving forward.
And I think the reason why we started the podcast is we want to share who we are.
Yeah.
We want to share our story, but we also want to share our passion and our love for relationships
Yes.
and marriage,
Yes.
and kind
Love.
of want to break the stigma of what people think certain things should be.
Yeah.
And things can sometimes actually be really simple.
Yeah. It is. It really is.
I think that
people overcomplicate.
We as
things
people
so badly.
overcomplicate, and I think if we actually look in our own lives and in our own story, like when you try and do it,
Yeah.
man,
That's gonna fail.
that's gonna fail.
Yep.
That's it.
So that's basically our story. I want to thank everyone that listened to this. I hope that this has inspired.
Yes, I hope
someone,
so too. But do stick around, because this is not the only part of the story.
No.
Like
there's a very big part that we left out
that we need to share.
That we will share.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Check out for our next episode. It's going to be the part. This is like a fairy tale, and every fairy tale needs that moment of pure hopelessness in order to keep the audience captivated.
Correct.
Oh, the story has a part like that.
Yep.
So stick around for the next episode where we share that.
Sure.